Soros-backed judges in blue states have just been caught and are now on the FBI investigation trail. Kash Patel has come out and told us that they have evidence linked. Guys, this is straight from Kash Patel. We're going to show you this video in a moment. Kash Patel has videos linked to the funding that's happening in California and Minnesota over George Soros and George Soros-backed judges of backing and protecting these chaos protesters all across the United States. Kash Patel says it's not just in Minnesota, it's in California, almost every sanctuary city state. There are judges that are fighting on behalf of the protesters, making sure that if they do get put in jail, if they do get sent to jail, they don't stay there, they automatically release them. Big news, guys, breaking news, guys. I love this because, again, too, it's one thing that we're looking at the tail end of the issue. When you're seeing the protesters, that's the tail end. We got to go to the head. The head is dealing with who's funding them and the judges who are protecting them. Blue states, again, are in all this, all adds up right now. Blue states are suing President Trump, coming from Obama-backed judges, to hide the massive SNAP fraud data that's just been discovered. We've just found out that, again, 5 more, this is big, everybody, 5 more states have been investigated. Over 700,000 fraudulent cases of SNAP benefits being given out have been found by our investigators, with people getting up to SNAP benefits from 5 states. The deep state funders are funding all this, guys, when it comes to the protection of this chaos and the stealing. We have evidence that very wealthy people are tied to funding the chaos that we are seeing, especially in the blue states. No oversight whatsoever. Again, everybody, 700,000 new fraudulent cases of SNAP benefits have been discovered. This is with people using dead Social Security recipients' numbers to go to multiple states across the United States to get free money. And then they're taking that benefits card and then selling it and then making money off of it. The Democratic state judges, these Obama-appointed judges, are now suing the Trump admin. Listen to this, guys, because I'm telling you, we're about to get into it today. Kash Patel is on it, and I love it. The Obama-appointed judges are suing the Trump admin for digging into the benefits, programs, and voter rolls and finding the fraud, citing that the federal government had no legal authority to investigate these states' voter rolls, SNAP benefits, despite, listen to this, you cannot make this stuff up, everybody, despite finding the fraud. They were not given legal access, and therefore they will be sued in the federal courts for fines. So again, we found fraud, we found waste, we found abuse, and still the Obama-backed judges are suing the Trump admin because they didn't have legal access. Guys, this is corruption right in front of our eyes. 200,000 dead people still getting benefits. 500,000 plus people that we just found out are getting double, triple, quadruple, or even, what is it? I can't remember what it is for 5 benefits from multiple states. And this is not even, think about this, everybody. This is not even full access to all the corruption in these states of California, Minnesota, New York, Colorado. This is just us. We barely got in there. Then we were blocked by the judges. Imagine what we're going to find when we fully get access. Nick Shirley's investigation in Minnesota has taken it to the next level. They found a healthcare company called Advanced Mobility Incorporated that has been getting money from taxpayers and registered with the state for over 26 years. No vehicles, no people present. Elon Musk has called it a 26-year scam on the taxpayer. Can you believe this? 26 years. This company has been receiving taxpayer-funded money. no vehicles, nobody present, no offices. It was a fake address, and yet money was still flowing in to a bank account. Do you see how for decades money has been stolen from you and I? The Trump administration is also, listen to this, investigating if Somalis created fake schools and enrolled so-called ghost students to collect taxpayer dollars using fake stolen IDs. Now it wasn't just about the child care and the health care and the medical transportation vehicles. Now we have fake Somali schools with ghost students receiving taxpayer-funded money. Can you imagine when we do this to every single state in the United States, what we're going to find? And thanks to J.D. Vance being the tiebreaker in the Senate, the War Powers resolution to block Trump from doing anything with Venezuela without congressional approval has been shut down. There were some Republicans that sided with the Democrats to try to rein in Trump, but we were able to pull out the win. J.D. Vance being the tiebreaker in the Senate, big win for Trump. And President Trump officially, everybody just dropping the ball right here, everybody. President Trump will now move forward with acquiring Greenland. They are having technical talks with the Danish and Greenland officials as we speak. The number that they are looking at is $700 billion for the acquisition of Greenland. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Guys, this is big news today. We've got a ton of breaking news to get into, but the biggest thing, guys, is that Kash Patel is on it. You're about to hear from his voice over what they're doing in catching the funders. To me at this point, I don't care about the protesters anymore. I want to go after the funders. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to thank everybody who is watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button so that we can take care of you every day with the breaking news. And if you don't mind doing us a massive favor, guys, this is what changes everything. When you hit that thumbs up like button, this gets our voice out. We've got receipts to show you today. We've got the states that have been caught with more fraud. We got the judges' names that are trying to sue, the Obama-backed judges' names that are trying to sue Trump. We're going to show you in just a moment. We bring the receipts. But hitting that thumbs up like button gets our voice out, and people need to see this. I want to thank everybody that is a member of the channel that gives to our family. Remember, when you give on this channel, we take your givings and we partner with you and we donate live on stream to a local charity, Children's Home, because we are going to bring some positive change in this world. We are going to do some good in this world with you. Give some special love, everybody. And guys, this is insane right now. Our boy CP, Chris Prez, has already gifted 50 TrueLife News memberships. Check your tag in the comments, guys. See if you got a free membership from our boy Chris Prez, OG of the family. Show him some love in the chat. Give it up for Chris Prez with the 50 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Marilyn Kaplan with 5 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Show Marilyn some love in the chat. Our boy Jim Barbato, OG of the family. Thank you so much. Thomas Brewer said, show us the arrest. You have the best research of the news. I appreciate your help in this Kids Month. Show Ruby Who some love in the chat. Thomas Brewer, Robert Cash, Jitso G123. Show him some love in the chat. And give it up again to our boy Richard with 5 gifted memberships. Our girl Gina with 10 gifted memberships. Guys, y'all just killing it today. So check those. See if you got a free membership. Show them some love in the chat. And don't forget, right now is the opportunity, everybody. If you missed out on open enrollment, that's okay. You can call this number right now with Chapter. Get the right Medicare coverage for you. This is a free service. You can save thousands upon thousands of dollars a year in your health care with Medicare. There's 5,600 plans. Don't try to do this alone. Call them up, 667-895-3015. Go get your blessing, and I promise you, you won't regret it. This is big stuff that's happening, everybody. And we want to make sure you save and keep all your hard-earned money, because what you're about to hear next, guys, this is insane. Direct from the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, how much corruption is out there, and we want to make sure you're taken care of. So again, you can do this right now for your Medicare coverage. Call them up, 667-895-3015. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. Listen to this.
I can tell you, generally speaking, that these protests, whether it's Minneapolis or LA or Portland or where have you, aren't spontaneous. They don't magically appear. Most of these individuals aren't even from those respective areas. But more importantly, behind that, someone has to pay for it. Somebody has to pay for the transportation. Somebody has to pay for the signs. And when you find things like every single person is holding the exact same sign on the exact same piece of wood and the exact same placard, they didn't get together beforehand and do that. It is an organized, in my opinion, effort to criminally disrupt and cause chaos into our communities. And this FBI is investigating every single organization and person responsible for paying or contributing in any way to the organization of these protests, and also going after those actors, the criminal actors at the protests themselves.
Boom.
Well, look, President Trump's administration has been a total realignment of the respect for constitutional law and order. And in terms of leaking of classified information, these are a top priority for his administration and this FBI. And the way that you get bad actors back in line, or actually have people stop leaking classified information, is you go out there and make arrests. Even to high-level former national security officials like Ambassador John Bolton, who was a former national security advisor in the first Trump administration. He leaked classified information, as is alleged in the indictment, is now facing a multi-count indictment. We are going to find these people and publicize them where appropriate, and we are going to continue to investigate and make arrests. But in terms of how do you stop it, you have to have accountability. And President Trump and this Department of Justice has given us the bandwidth and the priority to go out there and find leakers across every single sector of the U.S. government and the private industry, because we will not tolerate it.
I'm telling you, everybody, this is big. Remember how I told you we had leaked information over J.D. Vance's security detail, okay? Where you had somebody that was able to be swooed by a girl who the guy told her about how they do the detail for J.D. Vance, and then now you just heard Kash Patel that they are going after the funders, and George Soros is being called to testify on funding the violent anti-ICE protest. Guys, so this is official. This is happening. This is what I love. This is accountability at the highest level, because you know, guys, they have operated through NGOs. A lot of these people, a lot of these wealthy billionaires, somehow they got to have these NGOs that are non-government organizations funded by the government. And then those are the ones that are funding the propaganda, funding these people, paying them to protest and whatnot. And this is again, too, these NGOs that are doing this. Who are they all being led by? Who is their big donors by? This is where we're finally going to get to the root of it. Kash Patel out there investigating this big time, and I love it because, again, don't just go for the tail. The protesters are the tail. They're the end piece. You got to go for the head. You got to make sure that we expose and hold accountable the people that are truly trying to cause chaos in our country. And not only that, this is the judge. I told you guys we're going to bring the receipts today. Mustafa T. Kasabi is a Biden-appointed judge who has now blocked the federal government from accessing Oregon's voter data. So we were able to find out that there was, out of the 3 million voters, 800,000 ineligible voters, okay? We were able to find that out. Once we found that out, this judge came in and put a restraining order blocking the federal government from doing any more investigations. Do you see how bad this is? And this is the thing. Stephen Miller came out and said they load illegal voters onto the rolls, harvest their votes, and then they appoint judges who they know will cover up their crimes. This is coming from the Deputy Chief of Staff of the United States of America for President Trump's administration. Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is the receipts. This is what people don't normally see on mainstream media. You're seeing the faces, you're seeing the names, you're seeing what's happening behind the scenes when it comes to the corruption that is happening in America. Guys, give it up to our boy to our boy Richard for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. If you got a free membership from Richard, show him some love in the chat. Marilyn Kaplan, thank you so much for your 5 gifted memberships. Gina with the 10 gifted memberships. Show Gina some love in the chat. Kim Jordan, thank you so much for your support. Lady T. Rucker said, good morning. For goodness sakes, can we declare martial law already? Sign off on the Insurrection Act already. They're way overdue. Bring some sanity back to this country already. Amen, sister. Show Lady T. Rucker some love in the chat. Patty Razor, thank you so much for gifting a membership. Paris C84, welcome to the family. And guys, give it up for our boy Thomas Brewer. with the super chat. I love it. Show him some love in the chat and give it up for Chris Prez, the 50 gifted True Life News memberships. If you got a free membership from our boy CP, show him some love in the chat. And our boy Jitso G, show him some love in the chat. Because again, it's only getting better. What you're about to see next, guys, is again, the cover-up coming from the judges. What you're about to see is, again, we have the details of Tom Fenton that they are digging into the actual details of where this is all coming from, okay? It's one thing. It's one thing to know and say, oh, this is potentially happening. It's another thing to say, oh, wait, here's the evidence. Listen to this.
Okay, the great Tom Fenton joins me now from Judicial Watch. Tom, you have, I think, you and Judicial Watch have cleared out the voter rolls in this country of 5 million names that shouldn't be there, and you've had a big, I think almost 1 million in Oregon. Can you walk through exactly the work? And please explain to the audience why you and Judicial Watch, which is the People's Justice Department, why you guys are having to do this and raise the money from War Room Posse and your followers, and it's not done by either the state or federal government. 5 million, you've cleared out these voter rolls. Why is this not done by a government entity? Why does it have to be done? You and the guys at Judicial Watch, your team have more than enough to do. Why are you doing this, sir?
Because you pointed out the Justice Department hasn't been doing it. They've begun kind of looking at the issue, this administration under Harmeet Dillon. But in the meantime, we've already got active lawsuits under the National Voter Registration Act, and people know that as the motor voter bill, right? And the left pushed that through. They wanted to register everyone to vote when they went for their driver's licenses or got their welfare checks. And, you know, their sop to the conservatives was, oh, don't worry, we'll clean up the rolls every once in a while. Well, guess what happened? They didn't clean up the rolls. And so we became the first private group to start suing over this many years ago. And we haven't stopped. 5 million names, 1.2 million names cleaned up from LA County. Almost 1 million names from New York City. That was a settlement. They did it. We sued. They cleaned up the names almost immediately. Over 130,000 names, I think, here in Washington, D.C., 5 million nationally. But there are 24 million dirty names on the rolls, as best I can tell.
Wow.
And so we have new lawsuits in California, Illinois.
Okay. I just want to pull that back. 24 million dirty names on voter rolls as far as they can tell. Do you realize how bad that we've been screwed over in America by these corrupt Democratic and I would say sometimes rhino politicians, everybody? And hear the new lawsuits that they're having in the multiple states and multiple cities going after the voter rolls. Because again, too, if they can have dead people voting, illegals voting, no voter ID, no checks whatsoever, then what's stopping them from stealing the elections again? And we know, guys, we know without a shadow of a doubt, Georgia, 350,000 votes that were not verified whatsoever, no photo IDs, no backups or whatsoever. This is where this is so important. What I'm about to show you next is pertaining to getting the filibuster done away with so that we can put the voter ID in place across every single state, because this is bad. 24 million dirty names is what they feel that with everything that they've seen, is on the voter rolls.
For 24 million dirty names on the rolls, as best I can tell. And so we have new lawsuits in California, Illinois, and Oregon. And just this weekend, the Secretary of State of Oregon, after we filed our lawsuit in 2024, he comes in, he finally says, hey, look, we've got 800,000 names we need to remove. So now what was 5 million, it looks like it's going to be nearly 6 million, thanks to our heavy lifting. They realized, he admitted, he said, we really haven't cleaned up the roll since 2017. And people all over the country, Steve, you know this, you talk to them, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They get ballot information and ballots for people who don't live at their home anymore, moved away, children, grandchildren who moved years ago. They can't get their names taken off the list. And the problem is the law requires the names be cleaned up. They don't want to take the reasonable steps to clean them up. And we have to go into court and force it. And we've been the only entity to do it with any marked success in the history of the country to date.
So again, everybody, 24 million dirty names. I want you to hear from Mike Lee himself over how they're trying to combat this, because again, the filibuster is the only thing that's keeping them from putting voter ID in place, cleaning up the voter rolls, doing a new census, and making sure that we have a free and fair election in the 2026 elections and the 2028 elections. Listen to this, because again, thank God we do have some people who are actually fighting for the justice that we need in America.
The point is this: if we enforce the cloture rule, we could end cloture abuse, and we could end this perpetual tail-chasing model in which even when Republicans control the Senate and the House and the White House, as we currently do, we just take all sorts of things off the table. We can't accomplish this. We can't accomplish that. Why? Well, because we don't have 60 votes. There are other ways to break through this. You enforce the rules by requiring them to debate, and then the minute they stop debating, either because you've physically exhausted them or because they have exhausted their right to continue speaking. We have a number of rules about that, including you can only speak twice on the same legislative day on the same discrete legislative matter if they have exhausted either themselves physically or their right to speak. That moment, you can call the vote, and that vote is cast as simple majority threshold, and you can get a lot passed. We haven't been doing that. We need to get back into that business.
Right there, everybody. So again, all hands are on deck with this. All the fighting against it. Trump came out again, said terminate the filibuster, not just for the shutdown, but for everything else. We will all get all of our common sense policies approved. Voter ID, anyone. Make America great again. This is the big thing, because everything that you're hearing, guys, it's all being protected by people like this. All the chaos, all the things that we're seeing when it comes to not being able to go after the illegals, not being able to actually check voter rolls, it's all being protected by these people that Congress is now pulling into Congress to testify under oath, okay? This is happening. George Soros coming to testify because they believe he is a funder of the violent anti-ICE protesters. Kash Patel and the FBI said they got evidence. I'm ready to see somebody perp walked. I'm ready to see somebody put in jail. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is raw. I'm sick and tired of this nefarious. Guys, look, it's so bad. We found more. It's just all rampant. Your hard-earned money is being rampantly, fraudulently schemed across America. 2 scammers plead guilty to $68 million in Brooklyn adult daycare fraud scheme. This just got released last night, 10:30 p.m. last night, everybody. Do you see this? The momentum is behind us. And if you appreciate this, guys, we got to get this voice out. People got to see the receipts, because you don't see this on mainstream media. Okay? Share this. When you share this on X, on Facebook, this helps us get our voice out. And hitting this thumbs up like button, guys, really helps us to get the views that people need to see the receipts of what the heck is actually going on in our country with your money. Give it up for our boy CP with another 20 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Chris Prez, OG of the family, brother. Brother, you are so kind. Check your tag, guys. Check the comments. If you got a free membership from Chris, show him some love in the chat. He's at 70 gifted memberships today. Show our boy Chris some love in the chat. We can't thank you enough, brother, for your kindness and blessings. Give it up to all the others that have gifted memberships today. Our boy Richard, Gina, Marilyn, Kaplan. Thank you so much, Ruby Hoove. Thank you so much all for helping us in growing our giving and helping to grow this voice.
No, the reason they need those names on there for the mail-in ballots, that's the way they steal elections. That's why they won't do it. But I don't understand, Tom, you guys are, you're busier now. You've got to help me out here, brother. I've known you for over a decade. You're the guys that took on Obama and took on his Justice Department every day. You would be on Breitbart Radio with me every other day. This is the Trump administration. This is the Trump DOJ. Why are you so busy, sir?
Well, on this issue, the Trump DOJ is trying to follow our lead. They've, as you know, Harmeet's been suing states trying to get voter roll data to gain access to the information so they can try to get the rolls cleaned. I would advise them to join our lawsuits. I mean, why not? And just get the names removed almost immediately. But on the Justice Department, on a whole host of other issues, they're AWOL, especially on the Freedom of Information Act and disclosing information about the abuses, not only at the Justice Department and FBI, but basically covering up everything that you're worried about the deep state is hiding. There's always a Justice Department lawyer defending the secrecy.
You hear that?
We're in court.
There's a Justice Department lawyer defending the secrecy of these deep staters, guys. My goodness. And who would know better than Tom Fitton, who's the president of Judicial Watch, suing the DOJ, suing these states over all this corruption. And guys, what I'm about to show you next, guys, it's insane. I love it because this is accountability in front of your eyes.
Imagine going to court, Steve, and asking for Hunter Biden material and being told by Trump Justice Department attorneys, you can't have it, we want to protect Hunter's privacy. Or you go to the CIA and say, hey, we want records about what were CIA teams doing at the Capitol on January 6th, and being told by DOJ attorneys, oh, they say they need 4 years to search for records.
4 years.
You're saying because the deep state controls the Justice Department. You've got a handful of people over there, but you're saying you're dealing with the apparatus, and the apparatus is telling you to go screw yourself, right? Basically.
Is secrecy, right? And unless you've got appointees and the people they supervise who are committed to transparency and understanding that they've got to uncover the bodies, we're just going to be, we're fighting them on Jack Smith documents. We're fighting them on records you wouldn't believe. Now, they've given us records, a few records here and there, but frankly, so did the Biden administration. So don't do us any favors. Give us the records as we're due under law. They've tried to destroy the Republic just a year ago, and you're still hiding what they did.
You hear that, everybody? I'm telling you, like this stuff, and now that we found out this, because I want to show you some more stuff, the Trump administration is investigating if Somalis created fake schools and enrolled so-called ghost students to collect taxpayer dollars using potentially fake or stolen ID cards. It started off with the child care. Then it went to the health care for seniors. Then it went to the medical transportation vehicles. And now we're in these fake schools. It's one thing right after another, everybody, of constant fraud, waste, and abuse. We've got more footage from our boy Nick Shirley and David, the guy who's helping to expose this all, guys. And what I love is this is real mainstream news, non-mainstream news media that is affecting you and I, that is the truth. This is so big. And what I love is that it's real.
So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be...
Sorry, y'all. Oh, sorry. Golly. I'm going to pull this back because this video, I cannot have that because of the dang copyright music. I didn't know it had it on there, but I'm going to remove it real quick and I'm going to pull back on it because your boy got them skills to make it happen. But I want you to listen to this, guys, because again, it's all coming out. Everybody's being exposed across the board. Listen to this.
It's not just daycares we're worried about. Primetime's digging into something even bigger. Hundreds of millions of dollars quietly moving through Minneapolis, heading straight to the Middle East. Homeland Security sources tell Primetime $700 million in cash was flown out of the Minneapolis airport in just the last 2 years, stuffed into luggage. That's 100 times more cash than what was moved out of JFK, Atlanta, and Dallas. To put it into perspective, Atlanta is the busiest airport in the United States. Minneapolis, 17th.
And I want to show you guys, you just heard that, okay? Because I love bringing the receipts. We just found out, you're not going to believe this, everybody. This was posted by our boy, Elon Musk, that, listen to this, you cannot make this stuff up. Over the Minneapolis airport that's been found, that's all this money's been going through, okay? $700+ million in cash was carried in luggage by Somalis. Well, guess what? They employ nearly 1,000 Somali workers at the airport in roles like baggage handling and ticketing, raising questions about oversight in the major hub handling the 30 million passengers annually. This is allegedly that they infiltrated and they put people, Somali people, in the places where they would check for the money, where they would check to make sure that there wasn't no fraud in the baggage handling, the ticketing, and then whenever these people would come through with all these hundreds of millions of dollars, all these bags, all the monies, the bags full of money, they just let them through. Guys, this is coming out. This was just reposted by, oh my goodness, I'll pull this over in a moment, but this was just reposted by Elon Musk. But this is what we're finding out. Over 1,000 Somali workers at the airports were essentially put there, allegedly, to allow for this to happen. Do you see how corrupt this crap is, guys? If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is nuts.
Quarter of the flights. Yet 100 times the cash is leaving the country. And it's not just Minneapolis. Investigators following the money trail backward, and they found another hub. In Columbus, Ohio, officers tracked $136 million in cash leaving the Columbus airport in 2023 alone. You know who lives in Columbus? Somalis. Lots of them. They have the second largest Somalian community in America. Second to Minneapolis, of course. Interesting coincidence. But this isn't anything new. Agents have been tracking this as far back as 2017.
It's the morning of March 15th. We're chasing a tip about a man who's leaving the country. Our sources tell us he just took a carry-on bag through security that was packed with $1 million cash. You can do that as long as you fill out one of these government forms. We're told these cloak and dagger-like scenarios now happen almost weekly at MSP International.
Weekly.
In 2015, investigators documented $14 million in carry-on cash. By 2016, it had mushroomed to $84 million, and then last year, $100 million.
So where's the cash headed? It could be going to terrorists.
Kearns tracked millions of dollars in cash that was leaving on flights from Seattle. It was coming from hawalas, businesses used to courier money to countries that have no official banking system. Some immigrant communities rely on hawalas to send funds to help impoverished relatives back home. Kearns discovered some of the money was being funneled to a hawala in a region of Somalia that's controlled by the Al-Shabaab terrorist group.
So I talked to a couple sources who had lived in that region, and I said, if money is going to this hawala, do you think it's going to Al-Shabaab? And he said, oh, definitely. That area is controlled by Al-Shabaab, and they control the hawala there.
Wow.
Money's been flying out of Minneapolis.
And I just want to remind you, everybody, because again, too, this matters. This is, again, as you're seeing this fraud, waste, and abuse happen, I just want to remind you that Trump, in the big, beautiful bill, set up a new $6,000 senior tax deduction that will affect millions for Americans over 65. Just reminding you that in blue states like New York and California and Oregon and Washington, they have refused this $6,000 senior tax deduction so that their seniors in their states can't get it, okay? That's how messed up this stuff is. That's how fraudulent this stuff is, that they are willing to protect illegals. They won't even give a bone to the people that are citizens in their own states with this new senior tax deduction, $6,000, to make it so that there is no tax on Social Security for like 90% of people. But it's people like this, Mustafa T. Kosabi, a Biden-appointed judge who has blocked the federal government from accessing Oregon's voter data because they're trying to protect illegal immigrants, okay? That's what's happening. There's no other reason. What are you trying to protect? If they're American citizens, the federal government already has a Social Security number. They already have pretty much all their IRS information. But if there's people that are not supposed to be on those voter rolls, then is that what you're trying to protect? This is what we're facing. And again, this stuff right here, this $6,000 senior tax deduction is not going to a lot of Americans in blue states. We're going to give you that list in just a moment. It's all that, and when you look at all this fraud, waste, and abuse, this is just a reminder how much needs to change in America.
For years. Fozia Ali pled guilty to daycare fraud in 2018. And the money she stole went international.
The business was suspected of billing the government for over $1 million worth of bogus child care services.
Did any of the money go overseas?
We are aware that some of the funds went overseas, which she was cashing out money from the business.
She'd taken a 2-month trip from Minnesota to Dubai and then Kenya, staying at times in $800 a night hotel rooms. She used
Wow.
an app on her phone to bill the state of Minnesota for child care services while she was out of the country.
Minnesota's had a dirty little secret for decades. And now the whole world knows.
If they had $700 million to send back to Somalia,
sorry, guys.
if that's true.
Stop. Sorry, got to get past this too because I don't want the copyright. Sorry, guys.
$700 million from here to there. No arrests, no charges. Has there ever even been an investigation? Tampon's more focused on protecting bad hombres than taxpayers. If terrorists get their hands on that money and target American soldiers, the blood's on Timmy's hands. He doesn't want anybody recording Somali fraud. He wants you to record ICE. Who's trying to stop it? That's suspicious and makes me think Tampon could be in on it. Can he be that dumb? Minnesota State Representative Kristen Robbins. All right, Kristen, small airport, Minneapolis, but the most cash flown out of there than any other hub. How did no one pick up on this?
You know, it's been known for years, but we didn't realize how much was still going on. The numbers from the last 2 years dwarf what was reported back in 2019. And so my understanding, talking to retired airport police, is that they were told, you know, once the money was declared, that there was nothing they could do about it. So they were meanwhile going after, you know, people with $10,000 in a backpack who were maybe running drugs, but they never were told to follow up on the people carrying the suitcases of millions of dollars of cash.
So you talked to Scott Bessent just the other week.
Yes.
And what did he say? What's he doing about it at Treasury?
We're so grateful for the partnership of Secretary Bessent and the Trump administration. So he started a new program where they're going to limit cash out to $2,000 a person, which is going to be a dramatic change for a lot of people. And they're also going to be geo-tracking all the cash that's leaving the Hennepin County or Ramsey County, which is where, you know, a lot of this population lives. And so that will really help, because before they hadn't been tracking where the money went. Once it got to Dubai, they assumed, you know, it was hard to track because it was going through the Hawala network.
Do you think Walls knew, or is he just an idiot?
It's been so widely reported, there's no way he couldn't have known. It's been known since his first year in 2019. There was an OLA report at that time that thought there would maybe be $100 million in childcare fraud and talked about the ties to terrorism, and that whistleblower was ignored and hounded, actually retaliated against. So everyone's been willfully turning a blind eye in the Walz administration.
So he knew about it, covered it up, and didn't do anything about it.
Let me tell you that. Again, guys, there's another investigation that's about to happen with the... Oh, man, this is so bad, guys. With the Supreme Court's ruling that just happened this week. Such a huge win for Americans. So, they ruled that... And guys, if you appreciate this, we got to get this news out there. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big. They ruled that all the courts could challenge the rulings with mail-in ballots, okay? That the Supreme Court this is what they're saying, crush the Dems late vote scam, okay? No more dodging election challenges with weak lack of standing excuse, okay? So that's what happened in 2020. They said they had a lack of standing. That's why Trump and all them couldn't get into the details. Well, they just won in this week in a 7-2 smackdown with, yes, you can challenge the votes for mail-in ballots. Now, there was over 100,000 Somalis that were essentially placed in Minnesota in the Biden administration through a refugee program, giving temporary status, giving basically citizenship, okay? They're investigating this as to being whether this affected the outcome or would potentially have affected the outcome of the 2024 election with all the people that were flown in on planes on American taxpayer dollars. Guys, this is what we're going after. All the stuff, these states, these blue states especially, I told you I wanted to show you the receipts. These are the states right now that I told you about the $6,000 senior deduction that they're not even taking, they're not conforming to. California, Maine, New York, and Washington, D.C. have already said hey, we're not going to do this $6,000 deduction. So imagine if you're living in these states that already have the highest taxes in the nation, already have the highest regulations in the nation, and then whenever Trump comes out, and whether you're Democrat or Republican, comes to help you out, to give you some help in your taxes so that you don't have to pay taxes on Social Security, your own state says, no, we're not going to be a part of that. California, Maine, New York, Washington, D.C. This is how messed up it is on the Democratic side. Give it up for our boy Jim Barbato with the super chat. Let's go. Show Anna Diaz, member of the channel. Some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Anna, for your support. And give it up again for our boy Chris Prez. Guys, if you haven't given Chris Prez some love in the chat, some love in the chat. Chris Prez has gifted a total of 80 memberships today. Show our boy CP some love in the chat. With the growth of our channel, the growth of our voice, we couldn't do it without you. Brother, you are the man. Show Chris some love in the chat. Give it up also for Raymond Calhoun Jr. Thank you so much, Raymond, for your support. Our boy Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding with the 5 gifted True Life News memberships. And YHVH7 said, thank you so much for your membership. Said in 2014, the late Kim Clement prophesied President Trump would uncover all corruption in Washington, D.C. and around the world. Well, hey, I love it. I want to see it happen. Show them some love in the chats, guys. Thank y'all so much for your support. Because again, the stuff that we're showing you, it's only going to get better. I went up and I cleaned this video, guys, for us so that we can see it. Because you got to remember, like, I got to make sure there's no the music in the background. But listen to this.
So now we're at 2833 13th Avenue South in Minneapolis. And there's supposed to be a non-emergency medical transportation company here called Advance Mobility Incorporated. And what's interesting about this company is that state records show that it first registered with the state of Minnesota in 1999.
And they have been in business for over 26 years.
Yes, correct. So
we're going to go inside.
They must have a lot of vehicles.
So this is Advanced Mobility 2833, boarded up. All these windows are covered right here. We're going to...
You go to a company that's been open for 26 years, the doors are boarded up, the windows are all covered up. Guys, how bad is the corruption?
If you can go inside. There's a bunch of shops in here. We have money transferring shop. We got clothes in here. There's a coffee shop. Let's see if Advanced Mobility is in here. We got spices. Is Advanced Mobility here?
You know 224? I don't think you guys are allowed to record.
Do you know where Advanced Mobility is?
Suite 224.
She's recording over there, so. Suite 224. Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Do you guys know where Advanced Mobility is? Yeah, we're looking for it. Never heard of it?
What is this?
Never heard of it.
Oh, my name is Nick Shirley. We're just looking for Advanced Mobility. Where's Advanced Mobility at?
We don't care about Advanced Mobility.
That's what we're asking for. All right, we're looking for Advanced Mobility. Nobody can help us right now. We got a whole group of people trying to get us out of here. We're looking for Advanced Mobility.
Guys, how sketchy is this? 26 years in business, been receiving taxpayer-funded money, and nobody knows what it's about. Now they're just trying to push them out, guys. This is, again, rooting out the fraud, waste, and abuse. We got to get these videos out there, everybody. When you please share on X, on Facebook, people need to see this, how bad it is that they have stolen for how many years from your taxpayer dollars, no audits, no checks. Like, you go in to the building where they said it on the official state documents that this is supposed to be at. There's no vehicles, and nobody knows what they're talking about.
Advanced Mobility doesn't exist.
Get the phone again, man. Get out. You need to get out. You need to get out. Get out.
Now they're pushing us out of here.
Get out.
Where's advanced mobility at?
We don't care about advanced mobility.
That's what we're asking for.
Get out. Get out.
Would you like to give a statement on where advanced mobility is?
No, go ahead. Get out. We don't care.
So advanced mobility is not anywhere here. We're leaving, sir. Would you like to give a statement on what's happening here in Minnesota?
You make stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No, who do you work for? Nick Shirley. Who do you work for?
Nick Shirley,
I
sir.
don't care about Nick Shirley. That's you.
Yes, sir.
Who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today, Nick Shirley.
We don't care. We don't care about that. Get out of here. Stop here.
And see, you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
Advanced mobility doesn't exist.
Well, so what was interesting was we walked in there, and on the state's website, it says it's in suite 224, but it's a one-story building. None of the suites had the number 2 on them. It doesn't exist. And it's been registered since 1999, and it doesn't exist.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is why. And look, as whether you like them or not, I want to keep you up to date with what's going on, because we need to put legislation behind all this corruption. And again, I just want to give it up, guys, because there's so much going on. We're trying to do our best to bring you the breaking news, hold people accountable for stuff like this that is coming out that, again, it's happening, but I promise you, you're not going to see it on mainstream media. Two scammers, $68 million stolen from the government because of an adult care fraud scheme. Guys, it's all around us. It's all around us, and we're going to root it all out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Guys, give it up for Silda Morales. Thank you so much for the super chat. Matthew Kinney, thank you so much for upgrading your membership. And our boy CP with the 20 gifted True Life News memberships. This guy's up to 100 gifted memberships on this channel today. Check your tag. If you got a free membership from Chris, show him some love in the chat. Growing our voice. Thank you so much, our brother, for your kindness. The man, the myth, the legend, Chris Prez. Show him some love in the chat, everybody. And Tracy Garner, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for your support. I want to show you this again, too, because like the fraud that you're seeing, everybody. Oh, man, let me refresh. It has been happening for a long time, especially within our healthcare systems. I'm not a robot. Last year, 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers were, the DOJ is going after them for unlawful kickbacks and discrimination against disabled Americans when it comes to their health care, okay? That's why we partnered with this company here. It is a free service to you. Chapter is free, guys. And this is the thing. Hundreds and hundreds of people have saved thousands upon thousands of dollars being blessed, getting their blessing because they called this company, and it's a free service to you. The number is 667-895-3015. Don't miss out on your blessing. The number's in the description as well as at the bottom of the screen. When I show you this type of stuff right here, this makes me mad. Our seniors already have been just, screwed over when it came to Social Security, property taxes, all this stuff. And that's why when it comes to your health care, you can do this right now. So if you missed out in the open enrollment, it's okay. You can call Chapter Up right now and get the right Medicare coverage for you. There's 5,600 plans. They can help you find the right one. The number is 667-895-3015. Tell them that Joel sent you from True Life News, guys, and I promise you'll be blessed. Listen to this.
The leadership team talking a little bit about that already, and I just want to echo it. As 2026 begins, one of the reasons we're so excited is that we know that all the provisions of the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families Tax Cut, will be implemented, and so all boats will rise. As Treasury Secretary Bessent said a couple weeks ago, he said 2025 was setting the table, and the banquet and the feast will be in 2026. And it begins in earnest now. Americans will start filing their tax returns after January 26, and they'll begin to see immediately the real effects of the legislation that we brought and all the great things that have been done. Our Working Families Tax Cut, of course, prevented the largest tax hike in U.S. history. It would have been a crushing blow to the U.S. economy and every hardworking family. But we not only prevented that disaster, We also went forward. We made permanent the tax cuts of the first Trump administration, and then we went even further than that. We removed taxes on tips and overtime. We reduced the tax burden on seniors and so many different categories of American workers. Hundreds of pro-growth policies that were in the legislation that we passed last year, and everybody's going to be feeling that America First pro-growth policies result now. A reminder, you've heard it said here a few times, it cannot be forgotten that Democrats voted against every bit of this. There's no way they can take any credit for any of it because they're on record and that voting record can't be changed. They give lip service to this new term they've coined, affordability, but we were all talking about the prices that were too high and the cost of living for a long, long time. And everybody in this room knows that. Our aim in drafting the Working Families Tax Cut was very simple. We wanted to make life more affordable again for American families. We wanted to reduce that cost of living, particularly lower and middle class earners who really did take it on the chin over the 4 years of the Biden administration. Bidenomics that they tried to tell us is so great for everyone. Everyone knew is exactly the opposite. And the results are...
And guys, I want to show you this because this is, again, when I see breaking news, I don't wait, everybody. I got to show it to you, and I hope you appreciate this. And if you do, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. So President Trump is expected to meet with Tucker Carlson at the White House today. There is news that over all the fraud, over all the waste, over all the abuse that's happening across all the states, that Tucker Carlson may be, this is what I'm seeing on leaked stuff, everybody, may be the de facto reporter to be given access to go in and uncover it all, okay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Uncovering the deep staters, uncovering the fraudsters, the officials, all the people tied to it, no matter what race, because Tucker Carlson has one of the largest conservative followings out there because of his reputability, you know, with Fox and all that and everything that happened. We want to make sure that again, we catch everybody. It's all about doing what is best to expose the fraud, waste, and abuse, okay? So again, this is what I'm seeing behind the scenes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you support Tucker Carlson being the de facto reporter of all the fraud, waste, and abuse that's going on, and then going from state to state and reporting on this as a part of the Trump administration, helping them out, supporting them, being given access, all that stuff? Let me know your thoughts because this is big. Because regardless, a lot of stuff's happened, but there's a reason why Trump wants him, guys. Trump's not stupid. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Bearing out. So as of today, you've heard it references today, 43 of 50 U.S. states, just look at one metric, gas prices. We now have under $3 per gallon. In fact, the national average right now is $2.79 a gallon for gasoline. You've got 19 states where you can buy gasoline for less than $2 a gallon, and that's a result of good policy. Now contrast that, just on the gas prices, one metric. Contrast that with what we were all experiencing under the Biden administration, okay? Despite their draining the strategic petroleum reserve to deflate prices artificially, which was a disastrous policy idea in its own right, gas prices still reached record highs, and the national average for a gallon of gasoline was more than $5 a gallon under Biden. Now, it's under $3. And under the Biden years, it cost Americans more than $60 just to fill up a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry. And now everybody's buying the big trucks again, you know. Thanks to sound economic and energy policy that has restored American energy dominance, those days of the Biden years are over, and we're going into overdrive. And we're not going backwards. This is not some talking point. This is real economic data. It proves that Trump policies, Republican policies, achieve better economic outcomes for all of our constituents. And they will reverse the Democrats' cost of living crisis. And you heard the leader mention some
And I want to show you everybody too, guys, because this matters, okay? The $6,000 senior tax deduction that will literally eliminate for like 90% of all seniors the no tax on Social Security. I just want to remind you that this is the list of states that have said no. California, Maine, New York, and Washington, D.C. have already said no. I'm hearing Colorado's on the docket too of no, we're not going to allow this. And we're not going to allow this to be given to our by the people in our state to get that additional deduction. Instead of giving that $6,000 deduction and to the federal government but not paying those taxes, we're going to take that $6,000 and put it into our state budget. Do you see this, guys? Do you see how much it would make me so upset to be a senior living in one of these states that whenever you finally get a helping hand from the President of the United States pertaining to that $6,000 deduction, these dang states, California, Maine, New York, and Washington, D.C. said, no, we're not gonna conform. Instead of the federal government like just removing that and not having it, we're just gonna pull that $6,000 and put it into our own state budgets. That's how bad it is for people, especially seniors in blue states. Grandma Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, please keep praying for me, family. Grandma Jay, we pray that your family is well and that you get everything that y'all need. We appreciate you so much, Grandma Jay, member of the family. Show Patrick Trebet some love in the chat. My favorite GIF. Let's go, brother. Mike Hagstrom, thank you so much, brother, for the super chats and for the children. And y'all better give it up for those that are giving memberships today with our boy CP, Chris Prez, 100 gifted memberships today. Ruby Hoove, Marilyn Kaplan, Gina, our girl Gina, Blessed 33311, our boy PDX67 Richard, Patty Razor, thank you so much, Patty. Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding, show them some love in the chat, because I'm telling you, everybody, this stuff, that we're only barely getting to the bottom of how bad all this stuff is when it comes to the corruption, okay? And again, what you're about to see next, what they're doing in the cover-ups, it's all goes back to the prices of everything that we saw with the inflation. It was brought in through the invasion over the past 5 years when it was under Biden.
So let's bring in White House Senior Counsel for Trade and Manufacturing, Peter Navarro. Peter, the president's the Trump doctrine, has taken economic and national security, kind of mashed them together in a way that used to be odd, right? Because they were sort of at odds with each other. I know it's upsetting the establishment, but it's already had a profound impact. So let's start with where we're moving. Let's begin with housing, for instance. What's next for housing?
Charles, great to be with you. Great work you're doing on AI. So housing, what we're doing, Charles, is we're taking a micro approach to macro problems like housing, for example. So just in the last week, he directed Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to spend $200 billion buying mortgage-backed securities. So what is that going to do? That's probably worth 1/4 to 1/2 point on lower mortgage rates, a couple of $100 for the average mortgage holder a month. Then you've got a ban coming on institutional investors, hedge funds et al., buying single-family homes. There's really good data on this, Charles, that when you let these hedge funds go in and buy like that, it dramatically drives up rents. So we're tackling that. The president's also looking at using retirement accounts penalty-free as down payments, and buried the lead. One of the biggest drivers, Charles, of rents, higher rents in this country is the 20 million illegal aliens that came in during 4 years of Joe Biden. It's 1 million illegals, 1% increase in rent. That's a 20% national increase, but it's clustered in the blue cities and blue states like New York.
Wow.
And ironically, we get the Mondamis of this world then calling for socialist measures to solve a problem they created. If you go over to energy, I mean, look, Biden, $75 a barrel, we're down to towards 50. And I've got a piece coming out in Fox Business tomorrow morning that explains why the purchase of Venezuelan heavy crude oil will help reduce the price of gasoline and diesel here. Why? Because our refineries are all custom built based on the type of oil they were expecting to use. When fracking came along, it upset that balance because fracking's got a lot more light crude. So by using heavier crude mixed in with a lighter crude, that's going to help things. Credit card cap, 10%. I mean, the mafia can't get as much interest rates on the big as MasterCard and Visa. It's just crazy. And you're hearing, like, I don't know, Wall Street complain about this. The banks complain about it. It's going to hurt the little guy. Go memo to MasterCard. That's your business model. You're making a lot of money, and you're not just adjusting for risk. You're making money, and that's not how money should be made on the American people.
You know what I thought was interesting yesterday, to your point? Everyone's saying, well, you know what, it's going to restrict credit cards for lower income and middle income households because it'd be riskier. But if I borrow $1,000 from a credit card company and they charge me 25% or 10%, well, I'm more likely to pay $1,100 back or $1,250 back. It's just so nonsensical to me. But listen, the establishment has made a lot of money off the system as it is. And almost every time we look around, the Trump administration is upsetting the establishment. A lot of these people wrote checks for his campaign. So on one hand, it proves that he's not in the pocket of them. But on the other hand, you've got some stiff opposition from some deep-pocketed folks.
Yeah, let me give you one other one. Again, we're attacking this: energy, transportation, food. So beef, for example, a lot of Americans don't know that 85% of our beef processing is controlled not just by 4 big firms, but 2 of them are Brazilian dominated. And the boss knows that they screw the ranchers on one end of the supply chain, they screw customers at the supermarket, and he's ordered the antitrust division at DOJ to go after that beef cartel really, really heavily. Meanwhile, we solved the chicken problem, which came first, chicken or egg inflation. Biden brought them both at the same time. And this is how we're going about it. Micro approach to the macro problem of inflation. It's working, and the CPI proved it this week.
I've got just 1 minute to go, but talk about AI, right? I'm doing a special on it tonight at 8 o'clock.
Guys, I'm telling you, if we aren't going through and fighting every single part, and I wanted to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, Trump is trying to go down to me as one of the greatest presidents ever, and I think he has a running chance, okay? Because again, it's not like when you he's going to build the Golden Dome to protect America, the tariffs, reducing income taxes, all that stuff. But when it comes to Greenland, if we're able to acquire this new, essentially, continent of Greenland, this will be huge because remember, we have the resources to send people in and go after the oil and the minerals. You're talking about a lot of money coming back into the United States.
Subject of Greenland, Jeff Landry, the president's special envoy for Greenland, wasn't in the White House meeting yesterday. Can you say why that was and what exactly the role he is playing in these conversations about acquiring Greenland?
Well, the vice president and the secretary of state were present for that meeting. And the meeting, it was a productive meeting. It was a good meeting. And in that meeting, the two sides agreed to really establish a working group of individuals who will continue to have technical talks on the acquisition of Greenland. Those talks will take place, I'm told, every 2 to 3 weeks. So this is a conversation the administration intends to keep having with the Danes and with the respected delegation from Greenland. But the president has made his priority quite clear. He wants the United States to acquire Greenland. He thinks it's in our best national security to do that.
Subject of Greenland.
I'm telling you, everybody, it's like if it's like making our mark across the United States, across this country, has never been more apparent. And again, you can't make up that Trump, who literally was honored yesterday, the Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado gave President Trump her Nobel Peace Prize medal, which he accepted on Thursday. Do you realize how big this is, everybody? If she becomes the next Venezuelan leader, and she works with the United States, and we're able to get in and do the things with the oil. Remember, they have the largest oil reserves in the entire world, okay? The entire world, Venezuela has it. This right here is just showing you that even though the Democrats may not respect Trump, they may not like Trump, there's a lot of world leaders that know that Trump is doing the right thing. Because it's essentially the Western Hemisphere. It's us against Russia and China, okay? It is what it is, whether you like it or not. And this right here just showed that something good is really going to come out of Venezuela. Hey, make Venezuela the 51st state. Add Greenland, add Venezuela. Let me know your thoughts, guys, because this is a lot of big stuff is coming. And again, I just want to say to everybody who is watching, just want to thank everybody who's supporting our channel. Remember, we are here to expose the truth for these to expose what's actually happening behind the scenes. And we're here to serve you. So if you're not part of the family yet, please consider joining our family, hitting that subscribe button so we can take care of you every day with the breaking news. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor, sharing our videos on X, on Facebook, hitting that thumbs up like button, that's a huge indicator. When you hit that thumbs up like button, that to get our voice out, to allow people to see more of what I've shown today. A lot of stuff you don't see on mainstream media. That's what we're here for. People need to see the truth. And don't forget that, again, if you missed your chance during open enrollment, you can call them up right now, Chapter, and get the right coverage for Medicare. They can help you out with any questions. Remember, there's 5,600 plans. Don't miss out on your blessing. Go and they will call them up, 667-895-3015. They will help you to find the right plan out of those 5,600 plans to save you the most amount of money. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News, and I promise you, you'll be blessed. We've had too many people that have saved $5,000 plus in healthcare insurance a year, $3,000 plus in health insurance with Medicare per year. Go get your blessing. Again, the number is 667-895-3015. And want to say again to everybody, to all those that have given today, y'all have just blown it out the water. The 22nd of every single month, we donate live on stream to a local charity. And in a couple of days, we're going to be doing that. It's going to be one of our big ones already to start the year off because of your giving and what we partner with you, and we both give to local charities live on stream. We show you the receipts. We show you everything. But give it up today for our boy CP, Chris Prez, with the 100 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Brother, you are the man, true OG of the family. Check your tag if you got a free membership from Chris. Show him some love in the chat. Thank you so much, brother, for your kindness and blessings in growing our voice. They give it up to Ruby Hoove. Thank you so much for your gifted membership. Jitso G123. Love it. Show Jitso G some love in the chat. Thank you so much, brother. Robert Cash, thank you so much. Said truth, accountability, and justice. Go MAGA. Our boy Thomas Brewer, OG of the family. Show Thomas some love in the chat. Jim Barbato. Love it with my favorite super chat. Show Jim some love in the chat. He's an OG as well. Marilyn Kaplan and PDX67. Our boy Richard with the 5 gifted memberships apiece. Our girl Gina with 10 gifted memberships. Show Gina, Marilyn, and our boy Richard some love in the chat. Lady T. Rucker, thank you so much for your support. Patty Razor, Paris C. Thank you so much. Kim Jordan, Anna Diaz. Show Anna, member of the family, some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Anna, for your support. Raymond Calhoun Jr., thank you so much. Our boy Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding with the 5 gifted memberships. Show Ralph if you got a free membership from him. YHVH7, thank you so much. Matthew Kinney, Silda Morales, Tracy Garner, Grandma J. We appreciate you, Grandma J. Our boy Patrick Trebet, Mike Hagstrom, thank you so much, brother, for your support. And our boy Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding said, we need to pray for our land. Thank you, Joel, for helping the kids. Having the best channel, you're the best. Invoke the Insurrection Act. Now go ICE. Let's go. I love you all. Appreciate you so much for supporting us. Remember, we bring a show every single day. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.